We've made it the final chapter before season 2. We are on chapter 25 of season 1 for the Hounds of Sisyphus. This is a recap of everything that happened in season 1 before season 2 releases in just a few hours. I'm actually completing this at 1 o'clock in the morning. Right now, with daylight savings, we have it releasing at 9, so I have exactly 8 hours. All right. So in episode 25, we start out back in town. Jinwoo is going back after leaving Gowon to talk to the two guys I don't like. They're chatting and laughing. It's just so weird. I don't like those two. But anywho, he comes to Doc's assistant and he explains what happens, and she is visibly upset. She actually smacks Jinwoo and says, "Then how come you're still alive?" She's so upset because she just lost somebody else that she had. Remember, she's actually pretty young. She's younger than Jinwoo. So she's going through all of this and now is feeling even more isolated because somebody who stood up for her is gone. So she's really losing the people in her life one at a time, and it's really, really hard to go through that over and over again. Now, we see them walking off together, and Gowon is like, "What you doing hugging that girl?" I worry for her for season 2, just because she's probably going to be talking with Jinwoo more. They're going to be discussing plans, and it's going to look really fishy to Gowon. And I bet it's going to be more jealousy on his part. But he doesn't really have a reason not to hurt her. So I'm a little nervous because this is like one of our only female characters that we ever get in BL. And I would rather her stay alive. We've already gotten her backstory. We know she's a strong character. She's not like, scared of pain. She can handle a lot of things. So it would be really nice if she made it to the end of the series. I'm just a little worried because she definitely can instill jealousy in Gowon. I really need to get used to saying her name. It's Ganga. I'm going to try and keep saying it over and over again so I can get it right. But she explains now that she is only alive because of Dr. Lim. So he actually told Gowon to spare her because he needed an assistant. And that's where she's learned so much from him, just by trying to treat the people in town. Now, in the little flashback episode, I want to point out that Dr. Lim is not standing between Gowon and her. It looks like it's one of the hounds. So Gowon is off in the back laughing and cheering and whooping and hollering with two of the other hounds. And then Dr. Lim is with one of them who looks like has like bone gloves on. Interesting fashion choice. So it's kind of, a little 2D, so kind of hard to see zooming in, but you can kind of see that there's 3 of the hounds here. So I kind of wonder if a lot of the time these kind of atrocities that have happened outside of the town, if they were the result of the hounds instantly going in for the kill and Gowon being like, okay, whatever, because he's not really that interested in preserving the human life anyway. In the last couple sections start talking more about Dr. Lim, and I just want to skip past it because, again, I'm really sad that he's not there anymore. Like, I didn't expect him to die. that one I did not expect at all. I understood Mr. Kane. I did not expect this one. So this was a sad one for me, especially because Jinwoo's losing his mentor so soon. So you have to think, like, what else is he going to lose before the end of this series? Now, I just had a quick thought. So if this is going into, like, epic tale type territory, Jinwoo has lost his parents. Now he's lost his mentor. What story does this remind you of? Are we using Star Wars and all the stories that are similar as like a basis for this? What happens next? And depending on the specific one you're going for, he's going to have a face-off with the big bad, and then he's going to have to run away, and then he's going to have another face-off with the big bad, and he'll probably take him out. Like, it's going to go in that kind of order. So who's the big bad? Is it going to be the Hounds, or is it going to be who started all of the things with the apocalypse? Is that an option? So is it going to be Gohan? Is he going to face Gohan a couple times? I don't know. We really don't know who the major antagonist in the story is. If it's the Hounds, that just seems kind of a lot. And it also puts a pretty big divide between Jinwoo and, everything else. It would almost make more sense for it to be an outside source, like someone trying to invade the town, or the culprit that started the apocalypse. Like, that would actually be the big bad. But right now it seems like it's more going to be the Hounds and Gohan themselves. So we'll have to see. Now, I love that the key to the gun locker looks like a skeleton key, because I'm pretty sure you could probably break that lock easy peasy. It does not look like that is a very secure key. I bet there's nothing in there. I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, again, it could just be like the asset that the author used, because it's a cool looking key, but it does look like a skeleton key, and you can pick those locks really easy. So if that was the case, then I bet they're going to have like a big like montage trying to get into it and get the weapons and la 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 la, and then there's nothing in there. That would absolutely happen. But it most likely was just because that was the most aesthetically pleasing key. But that is definitely not a key for a gun locker. That looks like a key to like an old Victorian door. Okay, so we hear a little bit about what she's wanting from Jinwoo. And this is where the manipulation arc starts. Again, I think Jinwoo's going to do a terrible job, but he's feeling kind of broken right now. Maybe lying will come easier to him. But I can't see him being able to treat Gohan the exact same way. But at the same time, maybe Gohan won't notice. Just because Gohan does not seem to understand human emotion, he might not notice the change in Jinwoo, at least not right away. Maybe he'll think something's kind of off, but not want to say anything, He can kind of tell there's something not quite right, but is it that big of a deal? So he might act that way. But it also could be with the Hounds coming back that Jinwoo might have, his mind elsewhere and not have the same negative emotions to go on just because he's focused on the other threat. So, when the Hounds come in, you can already tell that they're pretty violent. They come in with a bang, and we get to see a couple of them right off the bat. So right away we see 3 of them, and it says all 10 Hounds are accounted for. I can't wait to see what they look like and to be able to kind of try and piece together what the plot for season 2 is going to be. But that actually took me to the end of 25. Now, instead of making another video, I'm going to jump over to the epilogue and start looking at this right now. So the epilogue has character profiles and gives us some information. We don't know the age for Guan or his birthday. The author says that they have set information about height and weight and stuff like that, but they're not going to give it to us. So I'm wondering if that information is important for the story or if it's just going to be revealed later and they don't want to give it away quite yet. As for Jinwoo, this is where we got the information that he is an INFJ. And we have his birthday at September 27th. I'll have to draw some pictures for his birthday. There's Dr. Lim. He was 53. And then Ganga is 22. So she is 7 years younger than Jinwoo. Jinwoo's 29, by the way. Ugh. Then there's Sungtank and Jaejun. And then the kids, the cuties. So those are some fun information about the different people. Oh, okay. The beginning part for 945, it's talking about that Jinwoo was the narrator. If you've read Dangerous Convenience Store, you know that there were 1 or 2 episodes, I think. There's one in like season 1 or 2, and then there's one like later on that are from Ajusi's point of view. And I think that it would be so cool to have some episodes from Gowan's point of view. I really hope that they do that. I love when they do dual point of view. I know some people are not a fan of that, but I really like it because it gives you more inner monologue on characters that you didn't get before. Because we don't get to see Guan's inner monologue. You have to look at his expressions and try and guess what he's thinking. And who knows what he's thinking half the time. So it'll be really interesting if they do that and we get to see what Guan is thinking. It'll probably just be like a little bird going doot, 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 doot the entire time, but I still really want to see it. The author does confirm that season 1 was all about understanding the characters. And they said it's not understanding their actions, but understanding who they are as a person. And I think that they've accomplished that. I think that we understand, that Jinwoo is a character who, when they make up their mind to do something, they do it. They are willing to ask questions even at the expense of themselves. He's a pretty self-sacrificing character, and he really enjoys being relied on by other people. So that's Jinwoo. Gowon is a character who wants to be looked up to, and he doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't even really understand why he wants to do that, why he wants it to be that way, but he likes it. He likes the idea of being relied on also. And he does view human life in a very different way compared to what most people do. But he is looking at Jinwoo right now like Jinwoo is the only person around him. Everybody else is the livestock. So if we go into season 2 with those things in mind, it might help us to make more predictions on what the characters are going to do or how they'll react to different situations. So the main situation we should be seeing at the beginning of season 2 is the reaction of the hounds coming back. I would imagine Gowon is going to be happy, and Jinwoo is going to be very worried and hesitant. I think the hounds are going to approach Jinwoo, and I would imagine they might try to hurt him, and then Gowon steps in right away. And Gowon might even be aware of that. He might expect what they're going to do and maybe even try and prevent it by saying, like, you don't touch this one, and then that makes them more curious. Or he'll step in so fast the second that Jinwoo is in danger that one of the hounds might get hurt or might get kind of pushed off to the side and feel pretty dejected because they were hurt by Gowon. That's what I'm thinking the first interactions are going to be like. I could be very wrong though, and it could be perfect. They just are so nice to be around and pleasant, I'm sure. I love the little bonus that they included where they have a friend and they said, oh, nice, emotional support boyfriend material. And then, wow, that man is emotional damage in human form. That is a perfect sum up of the characters. And I think that goes to their characters' design. You can look at the characters and you can tell kind of what's going to happen. So it'll be so exciting to see what happens in season 2. I hope you guys share with me your thoughts and predictions while we're going along. I will be still releasing just my thoughts on it, but I'm going to do it probably not day of. I haven't decided. Maybe I'll do like a short one a day of and then a recap the Thursday before. That's what I did for season 1 on my Instagram. So I kind of like that format. That way it doesn't stop anybody from reading by giving too many spoilers. But I like to get to talk with people about it as it happens and then right before the next episode too. So hopefully you'll stick around and I get to chat with you. Thanks. Bye.